Hello, viewers and subscribers. Welcome to Blackford's Art of Learning. During today's lesson, we will be focusing on part 2 of our lesson on evaluating arguments. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, guys, welcome to middle school. Let us now begin with our learning pathway. Our quote for today is, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today," by Malcolm X. We're looking on the same standard that we looked at in part 1, evaluating arguments. And here is another instructional chart or anchor chart that we'll use for today's lesson. Take a minute to view this chart. And now we'll watch an instructional video to give us more information about analyzing arguments.
Today, we're talking about claims, evidence, and reasoning. Your teacher has asked you to write a claim and to include your evidence and reasoning for that claim. But where do you start? First, let's talk about what a claim is and what it is not. A claim is a statement that is arguable and can be proven by evidence. It is not just a personal opinion. Writing a claim doesn't have to be difficult. It's your answer to a question that is asked along with your evidence and reasoning. For example, if a friend asked you this question, "Should my little brother get a cell phone?" you might answer, "Cell phones can be unhealthy for kids." Remember not to start your claim with "I believe" or "I think." Awesome. That's a great arguable claim, but what evidence do you have to support it? You can make any claim you want, but if you can't back it up with evidence, nobody will take you or your argument seriously. Evidence is reliable information that supports or backs up your claim. It is very important to cite the sources you use so others won't think you just made it up, and it can be verified as a reliable source. Here's some information to use as evidence to support your claim. According to research published in the Journal of Behavior Addiction, overuse of the smartphone is associated with various mental health concerns such as anxiety, depression, stress, and low self-esteem, cited Nova and Carbonell 2018. Notice that we told or cited where we found that evidence. Now that you have evidence to back up your claim, you need to connect the two with reasoning. Tell how or why the evidence you have given supports your claim. Here's an example. Kids are on their smartphones all the time, and that can lead to health problems. Great, let's put it all together now. Cell phones can be unhealthy for kids. According to research published in the Journal of Behavior Addiction, overuse of the smartphone is associated with various mental health concerns such as anxiety, depression, stress, and low self-esteem, cited Panova and Carbonell 2018. Kids are on their smartphones all the time, and the evidence proves that it can lead to health problems. Now that you know what it takes to write a strong claim, it's your turn to give it a try. Good luck!
Okay, boys and girls, I hope you have listened to the video, and I want you to go ahead and share what you have learned from this video.
Today, we're
All right, let's move on. Now we are going to do a Kahoot game to review some things that we learned in our part 1 lesson. So you're going to go to Kahoot and you're going to type the code that I'm going to display. All right, the pin is going to generate shortly. All right, there's the pin. Go ahead and type the pin in. All right, we're going to pretend that we have everyone in the game. Let's start. That's correct. Correct. So as you can see during this game, you have to read the question and choose the most suitable answer. And once you see the check mark, you know it's correct. I won't read the questions. You would read it to yourself and choose the correct answer. So that's correct again. Correct. All right, so we've been getting them correct. 17 correct in a row. We're on number 18. Correct again. Correct. And then once the game, we're on 20. Correct again. Correct. All right. That's the end of the game. So since we only had one person technically, that person is in first place, which is Jane, and she got all correct. So thank you for participating in this game. We're going to continue our lesson. Again, these are the academic vocabulary for our lesson today. And now let's learn more about evaluating arguments. So we're going to read this paragraph and answer 3 questions. So the 3 questions are, what is the author's claim? What is the author's evidence? What proof do they use? And what is the author's reasoning? How do they justify their claim? The paragraph reads, playing video games can be addictive. According to an article on Buzzle.com, people can play for hours and not realize that hours have passed by. This can cause students to neglect their homework, therefore, chores, and their family. Using all of their time after school to play video games can result in low grades, kids being grounded, and kids not having a good relationship with their parents. So what is the author's claim? Yes, if you said playing video games can be addictive, that is the author's claim. The author is trying to tell us that playing video games can be addictive. So let's put that in green. And we're going to drag it. Okay. And our next question is, what is the author's evidence to prove that playing video games can be addictive? So the author's evidence, what is it? Yes, if you said, according to an article on Buzzer.com, people can play for hours and not realize that hours have passed by. That is a good evidence. So we're going to put that in blue and drag it. Okay. And what is the author's reasoning? How do they justify their claim? Yes, the author's reasoning is that this can cause students to neglect their homework, their chores, and their family. This can result in low grades, kids being grounded, and kids not having a good relationship with their parents. So, That's the answer. I'm gonna put it here. And let's put it right here. Yeah, so that's our answer. Okay. Let's move on. All right, so we're going to be reading a text, and these are 6 words that were taken from the text. You can take note of these words. Decade, a period of 10 years. Dictating, to give orders to someone. Censoring, examine a book, movie, etc. officially and suppress unacceptable parts of it. Promote, to further or encourage the progress or existence of. Objectionable, arousing distaste or opposition, unpleasant or offensive. Define, to state the meaning of words or terms. All right, so let's move on. So we're going to use a picker wheel to select somebody to read for us today. Yay! So Jane will read for us today. And we're going to be working on our student slide on Classkick, or if you have your iReady notebook, we're going to be on page 174 to 175 of the grade 6 iReady book. So Jane is getting ready to read. Okay. And we're doing slide. We're doing say no to censorship. And these are the words that we spoke about earlier. Say no to censorship. It says, read the following editorial about censorship of school yearbooks. Censorship meaning that they're reviewing the book and they're removing things that they feel that should not be included, or things that they think are unacceptable from the school yearbook. So read the following editorial about the censorship of school yearbooks. Use the study buddy and the close reading to guide your reading. Okay? Say No to Censorship by Marcus Suarez. A yearbook is a special collection of memories that will be treasured by students for decades. And the decade is a period of 10 years. So that's a long time. However, some school authorities insist on dictating what students can and cannot include in yearbooks. Teachers often remove articles and images they feel are inappropriate. Okay? Authorities should not ruin this treasure by censoring yearbooks and removing what they believe to be unsuitable. This sounds like it is important. This looks like a claim that the author is making. Educators need to respect students' rights to free speech. Let us also highlight this part. Everyone needs to be reminded that the First Amendment of the Constitution protects freedom of expression. This fundamental right should be upheld and appreciated. School authorities also need to acknowledge how much students learn when they can express themselves freely. Students need more opportunities to develop their creativity. Creative expression will allow students to create interesting yearbooks that capture all of their school experiences. That sounds like something that supports the author's claim. Those who feel that yearbooks should be censored need to explain their goals. They may claim that they want to protect students, but aren't they really trying to promote their own values? Authorities need to be open and honest about what they want to accomplish by censoring yearbooks. Teachers should work together with students to define and discuss the word objectionable. Respecting students' opinions on censorship will empower students and allow school yearbooks to be the treasure they deserve to be. Okay. So, what is the author's claim based on what we just read? So I've highlighted important points. Authorities should not ruin their treasure, this treasure, by censoring yearbooks and removing what they believe to be unsuitable. So that's what the author is trying to tell us. They should not censor yearbooks. They don't want them to remove things from the books. It's so evidence to support this. They're thinking that educators need to respect students' right to free speech because that is the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of expression. And then also another evidence is that creative expression will allow students to create interesting yearbooks that capture all of their school experiences. And if we look at the word objectionable, it's arousing distaste or opposition. It's something that's unpleasant or offensive. So in the text, if we look at the word objectionable, so that's what they're trying to say, that they're censoring the yearbooks by taking out things that they think are unpleasant. But the author feels now that they should allow students to express themselves, they show their creative expression. All right, so let's continue. Let's go to the question section. All right, it says use the hints on this page to help you answer the questions. The first question, which statement best summarizes the author's argument? We just went through it, so go ahead and figure out which statement summarizes the author's argument. All right, so is it A, school authorities need freedom to practice censorship upon the content of yearbooks? Do you think that's correct? We're going to use a process of elimination. So no, the school authority, that's not the author's claim. They're not asking school authorities to practice censorship. B, school authorities are obligated to remove objectionable material from yearbooks to protect their students. Is that correct? No, that's not the author's claim or the author's argument. They're not obligated to remove objectionable material or unpleasant material. C, School authorities should work together with students to delete objectionable material from the yearbooks. The author didn't raise this argument. They didn't ask for students to work with them to delete objectionable material. Definitely not. And D, that's the only option. So school authorities should not censor school yearbooks because it limits students' rights and creativity. Yes, that's the author's argument. All right, let's look at D. The author mentions the First Amendment in the editorial. What purpose does this reference serve? Why did the author include the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, in this article? Okay, so remember the First Amendment speaks about freedom of expression, freedom of speech. So why was this included? Is it A, to explain why yearbooks should be censored by school authorities? Do you think that's the most suitable answer? No, it's not the most suitable. B, to support the idea that students have a right to express themselves. So the First Amendment speaks about freedom of speech and expression. So this sounds like something we could work with. So let's leave that one and move on, and then we can go back to it. To point out why yearbook censorship is a controversial topic. Well, not quite. But let's cross C. To emphasize the problem of objectionable school materials. No. So our most suitable answer is B. All right. In the editorial, the author explains his position on censorship of school yearbooks. How well do you think the text supports his ideas about censoring yearbook materials? Cite details from the text to support your evaluation. All right, so do you think the editorial provided sound argument? Do you think it provided sound argument? Based on the evidences that were provided, do you think enough evidence was provided? Okay, so if you said the editorial does not present a sound argument about why yearbooks should not be censored, only one of the author's claim is well supported. He points to students' right to free speech and uses the First Amendment as support. So that's the only support that was given. His second claim about students' creativity leading to interest in yearbooks is not supported by solid evidence. Also, his answer to a claim made by the opposing side is not strong or convincing. So let's go ahead and type our response, and you can create your own. All right. Hope you have finished recording. And thank you for your hard work, guys. Now it's time for our small group lesson. And you're going to be working on the cat's meow in your small group. There are some reader tips that you can read through before you start. And then you'll read the selection, then answer the questions that follow. Okay. So while you're doing your small group activity, I'll have a group at my table. Please remember the guided reading rules. You do not interrupt the teacher. You sit quietly and work on your activity. And remember, you can use this cooperative learning strategy that we have always been using to interact with your group. Thank you everyone for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please tune in to our next video. Thank you for watching.